Hey folks, Dinobob here, back in Dinosaur Coast Park. And today we're going to continue with Phase 2 and add the Nasutoceratops Swamp Overlook. We're going to kick it off starting where we started last time, which is in front of the Triassic Terrace, and move along and check out a couple of things along the way, including slight improvements to the sign for the Scelidosaurus. Fix those rocks as I had said I needed to do, and on the other end, the other sign, pulling the plants out so they're no longer protruding through this sign. So off we go, and you can see a Nasutoceratops sign ahead, continuing the theme in this phase of having backgrounds to the animal silhouettes. So we have a little bit of an area here in front of the overlook with sort of a swamp pond to get our guests in the mood for the animals we're heading for. We're going to go back to that sign. I've got a semicircular elevated boardwalk here, and we're going to stop because we've got some animal activity. Try and get them on the binoculars. That one sort of resting by the feeding pan, and the rest of them all seem to have disappeared into the trees. And the other one's going to sleep. So I guess we will move on to other things. You got a glimpse of their care building there in the background. We'll see a little bit more of that in the next video. So back along the boardwalk here, and they're out by the back fence. So we'll grab this pair of binoculars. Beyond that fence is next week's habitat. We got a pair of our Nasutos moving along there together. Sort of a sedate procession on their part. Having trouble talking today. And one from the other pair moving in the other direction. So I've got 4 adults in here, and it's a group of 2 pairs, which seems to be the way the devs have herding working at this time. And down the rest of the ramp. And we're going to go to this restaurant building because off to our left there is a seating area, which I haven't seen them use very much, but we can use it and sit down and get a view of the exhibit without dinosaurs apparently, but give you an idea of what sort of view that the guests would have from this position. There's one out in the distance. They don't have binoculars out here in the restaurant, so it's more an ambiance thing, but I have seen the animals come right up to the ground just outside this restaurant. So they do come out this way sometimes. That's kind of realistic. Animals don't always spend their time the same way in habitats every day. Just here we're going to take a look at the handicap ramp, which of course is being used by able-bodied people because that's all we have in the game. And let's see if we can jump over this. Ready? Come on. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I don't recommend guests do that, but we have special privileges. So back over here to the pond, and it's time to get the overview look. You can see the brown line there marking the general arrangement for this second great circle in the park. That's what Phase 2 is all about. So that lets you see how the layout works for the animals. You can see up in the upper right hand corner an area, and we'll get into that in the next video. But it's time for some animals. So starting with our adults. One of the issues that's been cropping up in the playtest is that adults that have been in place for a while don't seem to want to adopt babies. So if you put in new babies, they tend to make their own herd. I think the devs are going to be addressing this sort of thing in the future, besides working on how well the animals interact, but making some distinctions between how different species handle it. That would be cool. So, chow time for the big dinos. But we do have some babies swimming away there in barely any water, learning how to swim like a ceratopsian has to, holding that heavy head up out of the water. So this little guy seemed to be heading straight for the resting Nasuto there, and comes into camera again. You see him make a short run across the island and back into the water for a little bit of swimming, and he went right past that one. So obviously not bonding. This little guy was having a snack, walking through trees, and letting me know that we're close to the end of the video for today. So if you like this one, you know where the like button is. Make a comment, please, if you have something to say, or even if you just liked it. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd appreciate it if you did. And that's pretty much it for today. Come on, little baby. After you did your little back up and walk around, say goodbye. And it's time for Dino Bob to do the same. You all take care and be kind to each other out there. See you in another video, I hope. Bye now.